Today we're going to talk about how you can sell your art and how you can make money doing what you love. I get so many questions like, how can I make money as an artist? How can I sell my artwork? Why is my art not selling? How to price your artwork. So I thought it would be a good idea to film a whole series of videos all about how you can sell your art. So if you guys have any questions or there is something that you're wondering, make sure that you leave a comment in this video asking your question and I will make sure that it gets answered in future video. I have also uploaded a video called 5 tips to sell your art, so feel free to go check that out after this video as well. Okay, so let's talk about the different routes that you can go down to sell your art. I feel like today there are basically 2 different ways that you can go down. There is the more traditional route of galleries and collectors. In these instances, you are relying on somebody else to represent your work. Personally, I think that can be harder to get into as it is more competitive, but it might work for you better if you don't have a lot of time to put into a business, and also if you do already have good connections, so if you have connections of someone that owns a gallery, for example, or you know people that would be interested in purchasing a lot of original artwork, that might be the better option for you. The other route, which is the one that I've gone down, is becoming your own representative using social media and using online tools. I would say this involves a lot more work as you are solely responsible for answering emails, building a website. So there is a lot more involved than just painting, but it also means that you can direct or steer whichever way it is that you want to go and carve your own path. This way can also open up other streams of revenue other than just selling your art. Basically, the end goal for all these different routes is to just get seen by people, and the more people that see you, the more people that you will build that connection with and that might want to purchase your work. So I thought I'd share with you guys how I make money from my art. First of all, I obviously sell my original paintings through my Etsy shop online. If you've not already seen it, the link is in the description box and you can go and check out my Etsy shop if you like. I would say that my Etsy shop probably accounts for 20 to 30% of my monthly earnings, just completely dependent on the month. Every month for me, my revenue is very different and it's also made up differently of different things, which I'll go into a little bit more now because I know that sounds confusing. I obviously make YouTube videos and from that I earn an ad revenue. This equates to about 50 to maybe 80% of my monthly earnings, again dependent on the month. Some months it can be a lot lower, some months it can be higher, depending on the time of year and how my videos are doing in terms of views and things like that. Then we have sponsorships. So when I work with other brands on YouTube or Instagram, like a lot of the time I'll work with Skillshare, I've worked with Crayola, I've worked with Arteza, so different brands that get in touch and you work together on a little collaboration, and that can sometimes bring in maybe 30 to 40% of my monthly revenue, again dependent on what's going on at the time of the month, and sometimes I don't even have any sponsorships during the whole month or even more than that. I try not to take on too many sponsorships because I understand that it can be frustrating for you guys. So I tend to keep them to a minimum and only work with the brands that I am genuinely really excited to work with. And then on top of that, there is a small percentage that has different projects. So sometimes a company will come to me and want me to create maybe some designs for their brand or something like that. Those jobs are more few and far between. Yeah. Personally, a lot of my earnings come from social media, which almost is a job in itself. I wouldn't say that my social media is necessarily selling my art, even though I'm using my art to create money. For me, YouTube is a job in itself, but it is a job that allows me to have free reign over my creative process and my creative projects. What I love about social media and going down that avenue is that it doesn't rely on you creating artwork that people love and want to buy. So if you solely focus on selling art and then shipping that art off to customers, you have to create art that people want to buy, and that pressure for me felt really crippling. What I love about YouTube is that I can just basically create what I want, how I want, film it and share it with you guys, and that is like making money off of my artwork. Not many people will want to do that and want to have a YouTube channel because obviously you're putting your face out on the internet and that can be a scary thing. But I think there are so many different avenues that you can go down that it's just an open book basically. It's an open field for you to create your own path. Other avenues that we've not spoke about that are also possible, that personally I haven't tried or haven't tried enough to give advice on, is Patreon. I know that a lot of artists are supported through Patreon, and that works really well for them. There is blogging, so sort of like doing a YouTube channel but just through a blogging platform. You can also publish your work to large companies, so you know when you go to a shop and you see art prints for sale, that is a seriously good gig to get into, and if anyone has any information or advice on that, please comment down below because I would really like some more advice on that. And then there are teaching aspects like Skillshare or different workshops that you can create to teach others your painting skill. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes with topics such as illustration, fine art, design, freelancing, photography, all the tools that you need to be able to achieve your creative goals. They've just uploaded a brand new video called Visual Journaling, Draw Your Feelings, which I'm so excited to watch, and I'm going to watch that later with a cup of tea. The annual subscription is less than $10 a month, which is an incredibly affordable way to be able to learn new skills from real creators. The first 500 of my subscribers to join with the link in the description box will get a whole 2 months free of the premium membership, and that's a lot of creative inspiration. So a massive thank you again to Skillshare, and let's get back to the video. Okay, so practical steps to make money from your art. The first thing that you want to do is make a plan. Make a business plan. I know that might seem silly to you guys, but seriously, it is the best thing that I ever did. There are loads of research and information online if you want to know how to put a business plan together. It's only going to be for your eyes, so it doesn't have to be like super, you know, professional. I literally just had my notepad and I wrote down a bunch of stuff like, where do I see myself in 5 years? Yep, it's gonna be all those cringy questions. And you know, just make a cup of tea, sit down with your notepad and just really plan out what it is that you actually want to achieve. Because if you haven't got a plan, then how can you take steps to work towards your end goal? And really importantly, you don't have to follow somebody else's path and what someone else is doing. I love Instagram and social media, and for me that's very much a part of my life anyway. If you hate social media and you stay away from it in general, then it's not a good idea to build your business plan around that. Think about what works for you and build it around yourself and what it is that you are drawn to. Maybe you would love doing exhibitions and art fairs. For me, I am an introvert and the idea of doing all that sort of stuff freaks me out because I'm not very good at like social situations and having pressure put upon me in those moments. But if you thrive off that, then that might be a really good avenue for you to go down. Take your easel, go down to a local park or set up your canvas somewhere and start painting, and people might pass by and be interested in your work and take a few business cards, and you know, you can make it exactly work around what it is that you want to do. And one of the biggest tips that I could give anybody, like if there was one piece of advice, it is plan to fail. Be okay at failing, accept failure as part of the process. No business has ever gone from 0 to successful without failures along the way. Failures are how we learn. You know, when you're a child and you touch something and it's hot, that's how you know not to touch that again. So don't beat yourself up when things go wrong. For example, 4 months ago, I wanted to create prints again of my work, so I started selling prints on my Etsy shop, and after selling about 15 prints, I actually lost out on money. Like, how could that even happen? By the time I'd like paid for the printing, paid for the shipping and the packaging materials, I actually lost out on money. And from that, I learned that actually, you know what, I haven't found a good way to sell prints from my Etsy shop. So then I set up a Society 6 shop, and that is now where I sell all my prints from. And that was just a few months ago, and I've been doing this 6 or 7 years now. So please don't beat yourself up. You will make mistakes. Be happy to learn from them and accept them as part of the process. Okay, so I hope that you guys really enjoyed that video. I'm really excited to create this series. As I mentioned before, please leave me a comment with your question and I'll try to incorporate it into future videos. I'm going to go more specifically into how to sell on Etsy, how to use social media for selling artwork, packaging, pricing your art. So I'm going to try and encompass all these different topics in this series. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to join the family. And I'll see you soon. Bye guys.